Sustainability, as we know, has been such a key issue, really highlighting in the past few years what a priority it's been for companies. No better person to discuss this than Roberto Marques. Of course, we know him as the executive chairman and group CEO of Natura & Co. And Roberto, wonderful to have you because Natura & Co. owns companies like Avon, Natura, The Body Shop, Aesop. So it really makes you one of the largest cosmetics companies in the world. So you have a really key handle on sustainability. What are your plans to be net zero? What are your specific goals?
So first, Taylor, thanks for having me. Great to be with you. Listen, last year, we made a very important commitment as part of Natura & Co., which are the 4 brands that you mentioned. We unleash what we call our 2030 commitment to life. And within that, one of the key pillars is actually to achieve net zero by 2030. And just as a perspective, that is 20 years ahead of the commitment from the UN, right? And most important, this is also related to what we call scope 1, 2, and 3, which also encompass all the end-to-end supply chain. So a very daunting goal for us. This is one of the pillars. The second really talks about social inclusion and diversity. And the third pillar talks about how we really drive circularity and more regenerative ways of really doing business. So on the net zero, I mean, we are really trying to understand the importance of the direct emission, which actually represents less than 10% of our scope, and the indirect emission that is probably the bulk, which is 19 times more than the direct emission, especially on scope 3, really working through our supply chain, through our partners, especially in the areas of packaging, ingredients, distribution, which are really the key elements. So a lot to be done, but we're very excited with the progress and how we're really partnering with the entire network here.
Talk to us about that packaging and the plastics and really that regenerative process that you described. Is the demand coming from consumers? Are they coming to you and saying, we want this?
Yeah, it's very interesting because the way we like to think is that consumers are actually citizens. And we are seeing more and more the citizen, the civil society, and our customers becoming even more involved. They want companies, they want solutions that all think about the environment, the social aspect. And for that, our commitment is to achieve 100% of our packaging, either reusable, recyclable, and compostable by 2030. And there are some very interesting examples already. One of them, Tyler, is our refuel stations that we are implementing across our Body Shop stores, where people come with the aluminum can and can fill their products, their favorite products, and then clean in a way to really create a more sustainable and recyclable ways of really consuming some of the cosmetic products. So really a lot of focus on reducing plastic, driving circularity, a more regenerative way of doing business. And the good news is that we are seeing consumers much more engaged and wanted to really work with companies that have that top of mind.
Another pillar that you mentioned, of course, is social inclusion, and particularly in the Middle East and, of course, worldwide. What are you doing within your company to promote an equal recovery across gender, across race, particularly as we come out of this pandemic?
Yeah, we know that the pandemic hit actually disproportionate women in terms of losing jobs, actually increasing domestic violence. So we're very committed to actually help there. We're committed to achieve at least 50% of gender balance in terms of our management above, and also working to achieve 30% of underrepresented population as part of our management by 2030. So a lot to be done there, but it is one area that we're putting a lot of focus and making sure that we have the right fiber of society represent in our own workforce.
We just have 30 seconds quickly. How important are all of these goals that you've just described to the future growth of the company?
Listen, we like to say that there is no plan B, right? We needed to embrace that because we can run companies in a dead planet, as simple as that.